Hi all, this is Satish. Uh, I have 7 years of experience in IT industry, particularly working on Microsoft technologies. Uh, I was in having a full good exposure and experience in SharePoint with .NET. I have worked on all versions in SharePoint like 2007, SharePoint 2010 and SharePoint 2013 as well. SharePoint is actually very wonderful technology. We can grow our knowledge into worldwide, like the way of the now everything is in a cloud computing. So the SharePoint is Microsoft provided with the cloud computing in 2013. That go through if you go through the course or if you go through the subject of the SharePoint, we will be reach nice level in the career. Uh, I will show my course content to you. Get the full knowledge on about this total content in this particular hour duration, course duration. First of all, we need to discuss about this SharePoint basic structure. This is we can classify our total training classes into 3 levels. One is basic structure, means basic concepts of SharePoint, how we need to implement, what are the contents we need to be know. Then only we can implement the basic web parts, so what are the content, everything. This is one. Second, content management. This is a higher level of the basic. So if you know basic, how to create, what is the site, what are the content types, this site definition, if you see here site definition, the template of site creation. So everything in the SharePoint is a reusable concept. So once we go through the basics of this create columns, content types, everything, so we can able to work on more components in the SharePoint. So once it is complete, we can go to the content management. Content management is a main basic heart of the SharePoint. This session, this class it's a combination of the themes. Themes is nothing but look and feel of the site, graphical user interface, and what are the components we are deploying into the site, delivering into the site, that will called as a features and web parts. So if you want to show, if you see in clickinfo.com or if anything, the score will update without page refresh. So that is the concept as web parts. That is also we can complete it in our session time. And everything in customization also possible in SharePoint. SharePoint have a different of types. SharePoint is we can use directly SharePoint default behavior, and also we can customize it. So customization we can do through the development solution in Visual Studio based on our requirement, real-time scenarios and everything. In 2013 they implemented SharePoint apps, that is also we will cover. And SharePoint has different levels of services like user interface. For example, if the user, I provided the your information as a user into the site, so you are a user, so if I give you some permissions, you can able to access up to that permission, and this will everything will be maintained in the user profile. User profile is in the sense who are the logged in the current site, that user, and then based on him we can search also. And the third one is security and administration. Security and administration is how we have to manage the site and how much we can provide the security to the site. That level of explanation we can cover in this section. This is coming as an alternate access mappings. If you see, if you deploy the SharePoint site into one server, that we can access into 2 or 3 different URLs. That is nothing but mapping of the site. Authentication is in the sense when we have to restrict some users and we need to provide into that different domain, like some web services we can use, and what type of mode of authentication we can provide. Based on that, the users can access that other web services. That whole information we can provide in this authentication. And this is of application pool configuration. For example, in the site you don't want to maintain, you want to show always debug, you want to debug the code, we can change in the application pool. And you want to reset the server, we can do. If any changes or password change, we need to reset this our user information resetting. So we can do the application configuration. This is authorization. What type of pages we can show to them users, that is security. Security is a very main concept which can be provided to the permissions wise. So particular one user have one site access, same user have uh, partially access into another site. So when the user logins, we need to show his related content. For example, you are logging in the Gmail. What you will do, you have to show your related calendar, or when you log in, your data need to be populated. Other users login, they need to be filtration. That filtration thing we can handle in the security. Deployment. Coming to the SharePoint deployment. So once we develop everything in the SharePoint, we need to go with the way of deployment types are there. PowerShell is a powerful script writing thing. So using PowerShell, we can do everything what we do in manual, like a SharePoint site creation, everything, list creation, content types, whatever. That will be, we can take a backup and restore also with this PowerShell. This is actually a whole concept we can complete in the session, and I will explain the basic SharePoint. What is the main concept of SharePoint? SharePoint, what are the things it relates? If you see here, the current site is nothing but SharePoint v3 demo site. Here v3 in the sense version 3.0 SharePoint. So if you see the SharePoint is a one demo site, we can observe what are the contents, how it will be site looks, and when you log in, how we can interact with other sites. That everything I will explain to you now. If you see, this is a basic SharePoint site in 2007 version. This is particularly SharePoint 2007 version. I mean, it is released in 2007. They're called as a SharePoint MOS SharePoint 2007. So in this site, we can see what are the things in the tabs. These tabs are nothing but the sites of the current site. If you go here, that link will explain to you it will redirect to some form library that will be available in under of that list or site. This will be up to site. This is the site URL, and it will come as a default .hpx. If you see in this, .hpx is nothing but .NET app application. So these are the sites we can create. If you want to, if you created some sites, subsites, whatever it may be, we can see here. This is the way SharePoint 2007 looks, maintained all the quick launch. This is called as a quick launch. This whole view site or this left hand side content is nothing but quick launch. So quick launch is nothing but, if you easily we can identify, we can easily quickly we can do the redirection of sites, lists, document libraries, and that people and group. So in 2007, if you see here the sites, if you redirect, if you want to redirect Times card or anything, for example company sports league, it is redirected to company sports league. The company sports league is redirected here. The site have some content, the look, this is the body of the site, this is the left navigation, quick launch, this is the navigation where we can go to subsites or whatever the redirect you want. If you want to restart this also, we can restart. For example, if you log in, I am the administrator, I can able to see this all. If you log in as a, if I provide you as a visitor, I don't want to see these all to you, then I can restrict this. So you can able to see only home. That is a way type of restriction we can give. So when I log in the sports league, what are the team name, how much content, how much, like a quick info. that everything will be, we can provide in the things, and we can show the images also, announcement also we can do. Everything is out, this is out of box feature. So what we do here, if you see this standing is nothing but, we are just now in sports league is a site. In the site we have standing information, what are the team is now playing, the data. So this whole information how we showed in the site top. When I open the default aspects, we are showing this information, but this information we store in general standing. This is nothing but one space. So if you see, this is nothing but one list. You can see here lists of the site slash lists, means particularly SharePoint is a collection of content maintaining data place. So what they will do in previous what in every technology, whatever it may be, the content will be maintained as a database or SQL, Oracle and MS SQL. These are the databases. Here SharePoint is actually have the capability to maintain everything into site itself. No need to touch user to go SQL or Oracle. Everything maintained in the lists and libraries. Now I am in lists. It is actually one type of table. It contains columns and rows. Okay, so SQL table, you can take an example. So in that list we will give a name as a teams, and it contains each column team name, win, loss, tie, average score, and these are the columns. What is the content we are adding is nothing but rows, the content of the row. So we entered how many records we can enter. As per SharePoint we can enter 2,50,000 records in the one list. So it is easy to user, any user can log in, can able to see this list, they can understand and they can view the changes also. For example, if they click here, this is the information with full properties. If I don't have permission, this is an actual demo set. If you have permission, then you can able to edit this one, add it and submit again. So immediately it will update in this site here. So once it is updated here, obviously the content will be, once you refresh, the content will be displayed here, because what exactly it is showing, we just redirecting into here. This is the list concept. And if you coming to documents, shared documents, actually list is actually maintaining the data of some rows or some content. Coming to documents, these are different compared to list, but base type is a common. For example, rows, column, how are common in the list, the same way it will be common for document. So here, if this is a type of document library, SharePoint have two concepts of storages. One is a list, one is a document library. List will be base type is item, so we can mention the data, plain data. If you coming to the document library, this is the parent type, like base type is a document. So in this document we can store document types, PDFs, emails, we can upload the files, we can export the whole information into spreadsheet also. That is, we can use anywhere saving and we can maintain the data. So if you go here, click here, view property, this will contain the information. So once the user logged in, they can able to this page and they can edit and everything. And each time edit in the document library, it will maintain the versions. Like you upload the document in 2 seconds. Now again the same user upload with the same document, for example, upload in the document library. So it will replace, and before replacing it will ask, can I change the version? So based on that we can identify which user done a version what time. So this is a version history. If you click it here, so it need permission. I will explain the full information later. So what is the advantage here? So it will be collection of data, and it contains each content when it is uploaded, what is that, which user is created by, what is the content they provided, and everything will be mentioned as a version history in the document library. So basically have lists and document. These are the main concepts. You already I explained, like I explained, for example, I explained, like, see, if you see the web parts, here I mentioned as the web parts. These web parts, what will do, just web parts are nothing but, if you see here, this is in a site, here image is there, like that. I want to add a one web part which shows this shared document information, this whole 10 records data I want to show here. I want to show here in this below announcement. What we will do, I need to edit this page. When I edit this page, the whole page will be in customization mode. Customization in the sense we can customize our page. That means we can edit, we can arrange, we can remove, delete, whatever. So the alignment we can do. So once we add into edit page, this page is now like this. So edit page in the sense page view equal to shared. If you do this one, page will be in edit mode. So we can map the web part which we developed through Visual Studio or out of box. We can directly get this data into this site. This is the way we can develop the web parts. That's the same way user controls also. Web parts and user controls is the changes. Web parts, everything we need to deploy and we need to show. But coming to here, I mentioned custom application pages, user controls. These user controls are immediately will reflect if you want to delete this record and you want to show into this site here. It will immediately affect, and you want any code changes, you need to deploy very simply for user controls. User controls is nothing but .acx file extensions. Web parts, content page, user controls, dynamic changes and impact, lists, table schema structure which contains rows and columns, document libraries. So this type is document which can upload a PDF, document, email content, etc. and sites. These are the concepts we just introduction. So this is in 2007, and later version, these are small extra features added in these facilities, and we implemented in the based on the version in the customization. So if this is one site, for example, if I go another site, classroom management. This is also one type of list form library. So it will go to all items.aspex. All items.aspex in the sense what are the items in the library or list, it will show the page. So many pages we have as per the sites. So this is the classroom site. Here we can see that look and feel. This is a different site, and equity research. If you see here, this is a different look. So that means we can implement our we can create a multiple sites, and we can maintain into one site, a top level site. This is in a top site. This is the top site. When I create any site, it will come with ER. ER means equal research. This is one site. The same thing, if you see here, it is a top level site. In this is we had created classroom management, classroom the site. So subsets wise we have so much specifications, and we can create under the top level site. So when you click on the subsites, it will go open the page. We can check each wise what if you want to develop any code into affect the particular this site, we can develop. For example, classrooms. So in the classrooms, timetable for a daily thing. So or else tomorrow is the one event is going on class, so that we can show in this announcement. This announcement will be affect only this class. That announcement you don't want in this year side, that is we can do. We need to restrict that one. So based on that, here we can create a list. Here also we have list. So announcement is also list type. So what is the item you added in the announcement, it will come in this site itself. This is the announcement. We can add it. That announcement will display in the site. This is the concept of lists and libraries. And if you come here, home site, next is a very important concept is people and groups. What actually people and group? For example, this is the site I'm accessing because I'm a user visitor, because it's an online site. So this is a demo site. So when I log in, I am able to, I didn't log in, I just refresh the site, I am able to get the content, what is the content is available. So that means it's showing still sign in. It is expecting sign in here. So that means I am the visitor. Visitor also able to see that site. So what are the contents he can able to see it? Task list, something, some workflow. Here some content is task wise. For example, today I have 10 tasks. The 10 tasks, when I log in as a visitor in the team, any team member of this team, if I log in as a visitor without login also, they can able to see these things. And what are the things we can do that we can show here. So as a visitor login, this one, when I log in as a member or else more higher as a lead, so I can see other members work and I want my work also. So I can restrict that content based on the user groups. So leads will be added in the one group, and all team members who have normal access, we can add into one group. And I have this contribute permission, and you will have a visitor group permission. So based on visitor groups and contribution, we can show this list into separately, and we can bind the other web parts and everything into the site here. And next one is the, for example, this is the one task. I clicked here. When I click here, it will show the content is sent. So for example, the content of this mail will be sent as an email to the person or group assigned to that item. For example, I created this task. I created the task to assign to one person, my person. So here in this example, I assign to some person here. So as a lead, I can assign to him. So when I log in him, he can able to this task into his desktop, his site page, home page, and the description added and everything, and it will show that the last modified and created, who created, and last modified means in the sense I created system account. So this whole information is available. Nobody will miss the chance to trace out. So here you can mention the workflow concept. What is the actually workflow concept? I will explain here. The most important workflow. So here I created an item. When I created this item means task. When I create that item, I am assigned to this person. So when I assign to this item to this person, that record will be added to the list of task list. When this task list is adding, I write a workflow. I implement one workflow like workflow, you know, na? So once one condition pass, it will go next condition. The step is sequential, and like step by step it will go. So I created one test task. When I create and assign to this person, the workflow will internally back, it will run like, it will take this assigned to value, sending email activity added. So when a item he created here, automatically email sent to this person. This is actually implemented as a workflow in this basic workflow, this one. So this is the same way we can implement multiple levels of workflow. And for example, I applied a leave, manager is under leave. Okay, so who will approve? We will definitely wait for a manager, that is okay, but it will take time. He didn't, it will take time, he need to be wait for some more time. So what we, in the time we need approval at any cost, so we will give a access to simultaneously approval by two managers. So one manager is not available, another manager can also be access to the approve the leave. So this is the way we can initiate the workflow and associate to particular managers in the workflow cycle. So when an item created, the email will go to managers. If one manager is not available, the another manager will be complete. This is the way we can do workflows, workflow initiated and thing. This is actually SharePoint 2000 site. So in the SharePoint 2000 site, you can able to see this navigation, what are the subsites, what are the things, this quick launch, content, web parts, user controls, lists, everything. Now I am going to differentiate what is the difference in this 2007 and 2010. If you see here, this is a 2010 site. Here the quick launch is same, the content is same, the only change is that look and feel of the site header, everything. So if you see here 2007, we have a simple just navigation, look and this navigation, everything. In 2010 it is combined with ribbon. When I click on page, it will come as a ribbon which contains all the items we can show to the users. This is also we can text it, we can show to the users, they can do the action immediately without going to inner of the site. They can directly view on page, they can click it. They want the page history, what is the current page, this is a page, so this page only have the information. So when the page is edited, that information also they can get and see this here, and they want to see what are the contents here, they can see. So the look and feel changed. The most wonderful concept is ribbon thing, user interface, somewhat is very best, and the way of the look and feel also same in 2010 also. For example, I clicked on the list of one is calendar. So everything, for example, you don't want this line and you want some component, or you want some web parts here in this body. So what we will do, we just implement one feature concept. That feature will be available once you deploy into the site. So we have the option like deactivate and activate. Once we activate, the content will become here. If you deactivate, the content will be lost. So this the type of event activities we can deploy our content into the site is nothing but features. Features in we can create in multiple levels. One is form level, site collection level, site level, and web level. So here I will explain this. I will explain simply. So I have one feature I want to deploy into top level site. For example, I want to deploy the feature into here in this site only I want. So I deploy in the top level site. There is nothing but site collection. I want one more feature deploy particularly into this site level. I can deploy. So this feature will not available in the top level site. Again, I want one more feature in the subset of this one, web level. I can create and I can deploy here. So that will not be available in the benefits also. In benefits center, if I create any subset, that is also I can restrict it. So we have the scopes of features, and we activate and deactivate the content, enabling, showing to users and everything we can do with the features. And I explained here site collection and site web application. This is actually web application is nothing but all sites will be hosted in one place. That is nothing but application pool. If you see here, application pool configuration. So each application pool have one under one web application. So that web application have different services like user interface, user profile integration, switch service, business data connectivity, the type of specific services we can provide into the web application level. So once we provide into the web application level, that web application, how many sites it contains, it will affect into the sites. So the scope is increases. First we will activate the feature in web level and somewhat higher level, and this is a top level site. Now web application level. So that means if you enable the service into multiple web applications, we can maintain one server like a form. So the flow will be like, first point is form. Form is the top. Form is a collection of web applications. A web application is a collection of sites. A site collection, site. Sites as well. So a site collection is a collection of sites. The site is a collection of websites. This is the flow. So based on each level we can create a features. It's the thing very important, this one. Next, this is a 2007. The look and feel is the same. If you see in 2010, we can feel this is the one. This is what I explained in 2007. The same thing will be the scopes of features creation. Everything is the same. The difference is look and feel, the ribbon look, and how the when modified, everything, the user interface will change, and some other features in the master page, everything will be come into the picture in 2010.